Hello and welcome to today's morning report on Monday the 30th of March with me, Rich Perry, market analyst at Tech Markets. The European trading session has got a very positive start actually. Equity markets are strongly higher. You had some supportive comments from Janet Yellen on Friday after the European close, which helped the Wall Street markets to prevent a fifth consecutive daily close lower. Basically, Yellen was alluding to the fact that the interest rates didn't have to. There wasn't any rush to really raise interest rates, and that it was likely to be at some stage this year, but still no real rush to do so. And also the fact that inflation data as well wasn't necessarily dependent on. It wasn't dependent on inflation rates pulling higher as well. So just some sort of supportive element there to the market, and certainly equities reacted positively on the back of that. And we've had that feed through into Asian trading. Again, also, we've had some weaker data out from Japan today, the industrial production falling worse than expected. And that's sort of, again, leading to the sort of potential for further easing measures to be enacted by the Bank of Japan. On top of that, we've had suggestions from the People's Bank of China that the weaker growth data that we're seeing could lead to further action from them as well. So just generally across the board in the Asian session, there was a nice supportive feel in terms of monetary policy, and that helped to drive equity markets higher. The Nikkei was 0.7% up at the end of the play, and that has fed into the European session. But I would have to say that also now the European session has got underway, the dollar is rather strengthening. Pretty much across the board on the forex charts, the dollar has been stronger. And we're still sort of seeing the dollar trading underneath this 21-day moving average, which I still think could be sort of a consolidation area. It seems to be that there's no massive drive to sell the dollar anymore. That correction that we had on the dollar last sort of 10 days or so has just run out of steam now, and it's sort of now consolidating a little bit more. It's interesting also that we're now seeing that rally on the oil price rolling over as well. It'll be interesting to see if this support around 47.36 that was the old key low, if that again starts to act as support, and that could be a bit of a gauge near term as to how the outlook is doing. That sort of leads me on to what's going on today. We've got throughout the morning, you've got German inflation data through the German regions. It seems to be that German inflation is starting to pick up again. The regional inflation has certainly been fairly decent in terms of positively moving up on Brandenburg, Saxony, Bavaria, all having regional inflation picking up. So that would suggest that a move on the countrywide German data from 0.1% last month is likely to pick up to 0.3 is the expectation there, and it seems as though the early data is supportive of that move. So that could start to filter through and give the euro a bit of support today. And then into the afternoon, we've got the US PCE, which is the personal consumption expenditure data. Sorry, that is the wrong chart to get up. Let me just get the proper one up. It's that one there. Sorry, my mistake. And you've got the PCE, and that is the Fed's preferred measure of inflation, and it is sort of came out at 1.3% last month, and there is still an expectation that obviously improving inflation would be beneficial for the dollar, as it would sort of give the Fed a gentle nudge in the direction of tightening. But it still seems as though that Yellen is fairly relaxed about tightening generally. And then into the afternoon, 3 o'clock UK time, we've got the pending home sales, which is expected to slightly come back from last month, which was a growth of 1.7% to a growth of just 0.4% this month. Pending home sales generally have been fairly positive, fairly well holding up, and it would be dollar supportive if that data continued to come through in a decent manner. So that takes me on to my chart of the day, which is the sterling sterling yen. Sorry, Mum. Sorry, I was just getting sterling yen. Which this is interesting chart because I see that what we've got here is a move to the from 168 up towards almost 190, but the Fibonacci levels of this move have been incredibly interesting in terms of how they've provided time and time again the area of consolidation and turning points. Look at all these turning points that we had in January and February at the 61.8% level, turning point up in February at the 23.6 again, consolidation also around 38.2, and interestingly that we've got this low coming in again around these levels at the 61.8% level from last week. Today's reaction is obviously very positive, and it certainly looks as though that perhaps there is the prospect of a near-term turnaround. The momentum indicators are not great, but still you wouldn't say that they're disastrous, and the RSI is turning higher. And it could be the fact that we're in for a bit of support now coming in for this euro yen, and this is on the hourly chart. We've started to looks like we're putting pressure on this reaction high from Friday already. 77.92 is that high, and I think if we started to see a reaction above this 78.37 mark, then I think you could say that a recovery is back on again. If you saw a move above Friday's high also, that would complete a near-term double bottom pattern, and you'd start to think about measuring from 76.43 up towards that reaction high at 70. Sorry, get my crosshair on it. 77.90, so that's what, about 150 pips. Measured higher is what, 179.40, so that would be in straight away towards a test of this key high from early last week as well. So it'd be very interesting because also you'd start to see these momentum indicators picking up anyway, and the moving averages as well. So it would be suggestive of a near-term recovery, and the reaction that we've had today is pretty supportive of this move as well. So it seems to be at the moment we're just starting to see this turnaround. Hasn't been confirmed yet, but starting to see this turnaround of the outlook. Anyway, I wish you good luck in your trading on sterling yen today, and I will speak to you later. Thank you.